Welcome back to the DNX show, and today we're going to be doing our predictions for Highpoint. All right, so Doc, what is your bold prediction for the 250 class?
We are going to have two, not one, but two Kawasaki's on the box.
Okay, I actually like that a lot.
And you'll wait to see, as you know, when we do our podium predictions. But yeah, I think it's very doable. I mean, it's bold, but also I think it's very possible.
You can have Garrett Marchbanks on there. I mean, Ty is really good at Highpoint. Levi. So like there's three right there. You throw in possibly a Drew Adams, you know, a 5th place in Moto 1 last week. You never know. I really do like that because I'm going to stay on the theme of Kawasaki here because my bold prediction for the 250 class is Garrett Marchbanks leads a lap in one of the motos. And
okay. Oh, he's going to get a start.
That's very bold because he's horrible at starts.
Yeah.
And I feel like his average placing on a start is like 15th. So hopefully he pulls whole shot and he leads at least one lap because that would be freaking sick.
He's insane. Like you said, he's been coming from super far back every freaking race. So he gets a top 5, even a top 10 start, like top 7, 8, somewhere in there. I think he could do some like big damage.
But what about your 450 bold prediction?
Yeah, this is bold. Okay, we're gonna have Webb on the podium for one moto.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
I mean,
actually almost put that. I almost put that. Yeah.
Like he's a soupy champ. Obviously, dude knows how to ride a motorcycle. He was a dog in outdoors on a 250. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. He showed some promise last week, you know?
For my bold prediction, I think this one is super bold because he's not having a great time right now, but he's having all right starts, and that is the GOAT himself at starting, aka Jorge Prado pulls a whole shot. He was like top 5 last week in both of those motos, like right around there. But I think this week is the weekend it actually happens, and he might also lead a lap because if he pulls whole shot, I can definitely see him lead a couple of laps. But everybody's kind of been dogging on him lately. I feel like, and we talked about this, we don't really expect much this year, right? But I think all that negative energy that he's receiving right now is going to fuel him, and he's going to come out swinging at a Highpoint. That's my kind of like prediction there.
It's crazy to say that Jorge Prado getting a whole shot's a bold prediction, but with this year, it is.
Yeah, he hasn't done shit. So let's be fair. So, okay, so moving on to our fastest qualifiers. And who do you have in the 450 class?
Jet.
Okay.
I feel like Jet's pretty good here. So I kind of expect him to unfortunately dominate, to be honest.
Yeah, I was thinking that possibly like Jay Coop can steal it, right? He was just fast qualifier at Thunder Valley, but he's also very good at Thunder Valley, right? And I think the predictable pick here is Jet, but I also can see Tomac pulling something out of his ass and getting the fastest qualifier because he needs a little bounce back. He needs a perfect weekend. And I think it starts in qualifying, and he's going to put on a clinic in qualifying.
He really does need a perfect weekend. Like, you're 100% right. For him to right the ship, in my opinion, my humble opinion from a chair, play video games for a living, he has to go 1-1. Like, has to go body the field, get the confidence, gain some points. Who cares if Jet goes 2-2? But, like, to save, you know, it's only 11 rounds.
And the bad part right now for Tomac is he's a lot of points down on Jet. A lot of points. I'm going to look this up real quick because I'm pretty sure it's over 20 points right now. He's down 25 points. He's down a full moto.
That's a quarter of the races.
Yeah.
It's more than a quarter of the races. The series is really, like, outdoors is really, in my opinion, kind of short. You know, 11 rounds is not that long, being 25 points back. Like, but he's got to go on a run here, in my opinion.
For my 250 fastest qualifier, I'm going to stick with this trend here that's been happening this year, and that is Chance Hymas. He was fastest qualifier at Paula, fastest qualifier at Thunder Valley. I think he was sick at Hangtown, but he was also, I believe, like top 5 at one point at Hangtown in qualifying. And so I think he's going to come out swinging. He's pretty good at Highpoint traditionally. So I think he's going to have that super high momentum from Thunder Valley going and having a perfect weekend. I think it's going to show up in qualifying. Maybe not the motos, but definitely in qualifying.
I mean, it's going to go one of two ways, in my opinion. The trend's going to continue. Chance is just a qualifying guy. Or Deegan's going to be so pissed off about last week that he's going to be a second and a half, 2 seconds ahead of everyone, every lap, every time he's on the track.
Okay, so now moving on to our head-to-heads, and this is brought to you by Next Bets, where you can actually play all the 450 head-to-heads. All you guys have to do is go to the link in the description below at nextbets.com/playdnx to play. And for this weekend, we're going to start in the 250 class, and we have the Gas boys. We have Ryder D versus Casey Cochran. And Doc, who do you have?
Casey Cochran, baby. He's a gamer. Means nothing, but he's a gamer. And was, I don't know, I just think last week he did significantly better than his teammate. You know?
He really did. He had an exceptional race. He finished technically 8th because Garrett finished. Oh, no, they already updated it. So he finished 7th overall. He went 13-6, which is very impressive. And yeah, haven't really seen much of Ryder D since kindly Hangtown, right? In that start. And obviously he went down with Tommy V, but I haven't really seen much after that. Don't know if anything is going on with Ryder D. Don't know personally, but I have to agree here that I have Casey Cochran. He's just showing out, and his starts have been really good. His speed is showing. I think he's at, I think you kind of agree. He's like that 5th through 9th guy right now, in my opinion. And I think that trend's going to continue. I think Ryder D is like 9 through 14 right now. And, you know, and for our 450 matchups, we have RJ Hampshire versus Cooper Webb, and this one's kind of tight because they're right next to each other. I feel like every single race. So who do you have?
Normally, I would say RJ without a doubt. However, this week Webb's getting on the podium, one moto. Okay, we've already established that. That's going to carry Webb ahead of RJ.
So you don't think RJ can get a podium? Is that what you're saying?
Not this week. This week. Do you think it's more likely that RJ gets podium than Webb?
Yeah. It's kind of funny because RJ's scores went 6-7, and then Cooper Webb went 7-6. So they're right next to each other. I feel like at Hangtown they're right next to each other, and even at Paula they're right next to each other. So it's going to be interesting to watch that matchup. I'm definitely going to keep a close eye on that because for me, I have Cooper Webb beating RJ. And I think Cooper Webb gets it done. He beat him last week at Thunder Valley. I personally believe that Cooper Webb is kind of trending upwards. And I know RJ is too. Don't get me wrong. But I think Cooper Webb is just trending up a little bit more. He has that dog in him. He's going to get a good start at a high point. And like you mentioned, he might get a top 3 like in one of the races, you know? So I definitely see that.
Webb has the ability to, like, if he's in a position and feels like he can get a podium, he can just get a podium out of sheer will. And I don't know that RJ's there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of funny because Cooper Webb pulled whole shot basically with Cody Schock in Moto 2 of the 450 class last week. And you could see it instantly after that first lap. Everybody got by Webb. And I said on the reactions, I was like, Webb's like, yeah, guys, just go by. I want to just ride my race. I don't want to be up front right now. But this weekend might change that. He might be like, okay, I want to latch on to these guys and, you know, maybe get a podium like you're saying. So
there's a key statement what I said, like, if he believes that he should be there. If he doesn't, then he's just going to be like, okay, whatever. I'm just here for fun.
Going into our placements, this week we're going to be doing 7th place, and let's stay in the 450 class here. And who do you have in 7th?
He showed some flashes last week, okay? Some big flashes. Now, this is going to be a pretty big step up for him, but I definitely think he's possible. That's Cody Schock.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Yep. Another good start. Don't crash. Get a couple top 10s, end up 7th, you know?
Yo, I 100% believe he can do that. I'm looking at the moto scores from last week, and he went 11/20th. Now, mind you, he crashed in that second moto. However, if you go up and look from 8th to his spot, which is 15th, 8th place went 10-10. 8th place went 10-10.
Right. If he goes, you know, 11-8, 11-7, he's 8th. You know what I mean? He's right there. So
yeah. That's a really good pick. For me, I actually have RJ, one of our head-to-head matchups here.
So you're a hater.
No, I'm looking at this, and he went 7th last week. I have Cooper Webb ahead of him. We've already established who the 5 guys are ahead of them, which is Jet, Tomac, AP, J. Coop, and Hunter. Him and Webb are the next best, and I'm thinking if Webb's going to beat him, right, RJ has to be right behind him, and that's 7th place. You know, I'm just thinking mathematically, that's where it's going to be. Hey,
sure.
Be quiet.
Well, for 250, I'm going to go with Julian Beaumare. Which
I like that. I like that.
I do too. I hate it for him because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he should be a top 5 guy. However, he did not do very well. And I don't know if there's something like an underlying issue, sick, something we don't know about. He did not do great at all at Thunder Valley. Like 16, 15, not ideal. So we're going to bounce back from that and we're going to get a 7.
I actually 100% agree with you because I also have Juju Beaumare.
Oh,
and I was thinking about this. I was thinking because we have an establishment of the top 5 guys in 450s, and I was looking at the results for the 450 guys, or excuse me, the 250 guys, and we kind of have an established 6 riders here, in my opinion, with Hymas, Deegan, Kitchen, Marchbanks, Tommy V, and Joe. Right, those are like the 6. And anybody else can play a huge factor, right? Like Time Asherpool. You can maybe throw Ryder D in there if he gets a good start. We kind of saw that. You know, Drew Adams got a 5th in Moto 1. And then I personally, Casey Cochran too. But then it's like Juju. Juju should be right in that top 6 mix with those boys, in my opinion. He especially should be ahead of Casey Cochran, who finished 7th last week. And so I think he has a bounce back week at High Point, and he's going to get 7th place. Now, is bounce back really a 7th? I don't know really, but I mean, it's better than a 15.
Bounce back from a 17. You know
that is very true. That is very true. So.
You go first into our podium now because I'm a selfless guy. Okay.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to start in the 250 class here, and for the 250 podium, for 3rd place, I have Chance Hymas. Now, I do believe that he's going to back up his performance. Not by going 1-1, but being consistent in the top 3. Okay, that's what I kind of think. I think Thunder Valley is his track. That's his track. He's super good there. High Point, I think it's other guys' tracks. You know what I'm saying? So, I think 3rd place for Hymas. For 2nd place, I have his teammate, Joe Shimoda. Joe needs a bounce back ride. He had a horrible Thunder Valley. When I say horrible, you guys like 6, so it's not like horrible, but
I mean, a 9.4 is not ideal for Joe.
Yeah, exactly. So he needs a bounce back. I think he goes maybe 2-2. You know, I think he goes back to that 2-2 form, and he gets 2nd place. For 1st place, it's really hard to bet against the boy Deegan here. You guys watched what we saw last year, right? He went from dead last basically to 2nd place, and like literally twice, I think, I believe, or maybe even a moto win at one point. Yeah, he goes. I'm going to say 1-1. I believe that he has that. If he like I mentioned, he gets a top 7 start, he's winning the moto. So, with that being said, I got Deegan in 1st.
He's got a big chip on his shoulder too after Thunder Valley. So, yeah, I would fully expect just like a statement ride, both motos, qualifying. Don't have to worry about blowing the bike up. It's not that hot here in PA right now, so.
I did see it was supposed to rain. That was earlier in the week. I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah, so I don't know, but keep that in mind.
All right, for me, I'm going to go Marchbanks, P3. Okay. Levi Kitchen, P2, and then, Deek's just going to dominate.
I really hope we have a Levi Kitchen up front start, and he can actually try to battle with Deek.
I miss watching Kitchen.
That. Yeah, we saw a little bit Moto 2, right, when he came through the pack, because the top 2 guys are kind of gone, right? I want to see that Kitchen battle Hymas and Deegan. Like, we haven't seen that this year, and I want to see that. What about your 450 podium?
Okay, this is a little bit of a bold one. I actually just made a last-minute change as we're talking about this. I like this. This is bold, though, okay? Because we're going to have a Jet Lawrence in 3rd. It's going to be a little bit of an off day. I have no information that would say that this is an off day. We're just kind of wishful thinking here for the championship. And then we're going to have my good friend, Aaron Plessinger, P2, okay? Maybe goes 2-2. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have to go 2-2 to put Jet in third. Maybe a little 3-2 action versus a 2-3. I don't know, but we're gonna have AP second. I think he is definitely in the top 3. Like, we have to consider him right now on the podium every week. Jay Coop will be the only other one, but I definitely think AP is more consistent across all the tracks. I think the more east we go, the better AP is going to get as well. And then I tried to like reverse jinx him last week and it didn't work out. So we're just going for it. Okay. Tomac got to go 1-1. I don't know. Yeah. He's got to get a start. You know, stop starting first gear.
I mentioned this earlier. He needs a perfect weekend, bro. He desperately needs a perfect weekend. And okay, for my podium, I'm kind of on the similar wavelength here. But I have Aaron Plessinger in third place. I think it's going to be another outstanding performance. We might see him up front during the moto, you know, like might be in the lead at one point. His starts have been on point. He's been able to battle with Jet and Tom. Like, it's clearly obvious that AP is like the third best guy, right? And then for my second position here, I have Jet Lawrence. All right. I think Jet, like you mentioned, maybe goes 2-2, but more than likely, I think he might go like 1-2. I think that's more likely, but I mentioned Tomac needs a 1-1, right? So hopefully a 2-2 in this. And then for first place, obviously, I have Justin Cooper. Okay, I'm just kidding. I have Eli Tomac going 1-1.
I was like, hold up.
No, I have Eli Tomac going 1-1. Like I mentioned, he needs a perfect weekend, and I think he gets it done. He's going to have 2 great starts. He's going to be in the lead, and I think this is the weekend we will see Tomac finally hold off Jet Lawrence and Jet not be able to make a pass on him for the win. So
it has to happen.
Yeah, I think it's this weekend. I think we'll have a statement ride by Tomac.
If Tomac loses points both motos to Jet, bar something crazy happening, a bike, an injury, I think it's GG's for the Jet. I really do.
Jet almost can go 2-2 every round, and like not necessarily, but it would be towards the very end that he would be even close, right?
So I'm saying if he loses points, I think like, I mean, even if they tie, bro, like, I don't know, you know, like
if they tie for multiple different weeks in a row, you have to have a Jet DNF at one point, right? And then you would have to have Tomac win that, which it's a whole different case in percentages for even that to happen. So
it's a big week that Tomac has to make up like points, you know, not just 3.
And I think he gets on a roll here because, I mean, if we look at like the actual schedule for the races, right? He's very good at Highpoint. We have Southwick coming up. You know he's a dog at Southwick.
Yeah, he's
right?
winning.
Redbud, you know he's freaking good at Redbud, right? And then you got Spring Creek. We know he's freaking good at Spring Creek, right? And then we have Washougal, which is possibly one of his favorite best tracks, right? So I think it all starts at Highpoint. And if he can make a statement ride, we might be able to see some great performances going into, say, Ironman, which is in August. And if that's the case, the championship might be closer, and then we might have a battle to the end.
So you're saying all that, and the whole time I'm thinking, other than Southwick, yeah, but so is Jet. Like, Jet's really good at Millville.
Yeah, but have we seen Jet versus Tomac at Millville? Like, remember, go back 2022.
No, but do you remember
Tomac
in Millville, the famous clip? Remember the famous clip of Jet doing the like weird, you know, as he's landing, he like weird scrubs and he's hippity hopping.
They are changing on Millville track though. So
I actually, to be honest, I don't see that Jet that we did in. I think
he's a little bit more cautious, and honestly,
he's like a little. It seems like a little less creative on the track.
And it could be that just everybody else is more creative, and we are just now seeing that, right? So
yeah. True.
But yeah, those are our predictions here. Let us know your guys' bold prediction and your guys' podium in the comment section below. Would love to see what you guys have to say. And we'll be back tomorrow with another brand new video. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We'll have our watch party on Saturday this weekend. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you guys hit that like and sub button. And we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. So we're out. Peace.